Imagine going about your daily life, completely unaware that someone might be watching, listening, waiting. What if the walls of your home held secrets you were never meant to uncover? This is the story of how the ordinary can turn sinister, and how the comfort of home can shatter in an instant. You hear stories of people unknowingly harboring intruders, but it's the sort of thing you believe can never happen to you until it does. It happened to me. About 10 years ago, I lived alone with my toddler in a two-family house. We occupied the second floor, and while I cherished the solitude, that time in my life became a waking nightmare. For you to fully understand, I need to describe the layout and some backstory. The house had separate front entrances for each unit, but the back entrance was shared. A staircase ran from the basement all the way up to my floor, connecting at all levels. Out of habit, I often left the back door unlocked. Locking myself out had become a frustrating pattern, and leaving it open meant my downstairs neighbor could help me get back in. The downstairs tenant had a friend who was struggling, battling addiction and supposedly on the mend. While staying clean, he was pleasant enough, but over time, his presence became a problem. My neighbor, who had a young child, had been letting this man crash on their couch for weeks. Tensions grew. Having an indefinite house guest was disruptive, and it became clear he had no plans to leave. Eventually, my neighbor told him he had to go. The man didn't take it well. He refused to leave entirely, instead setting up camp on the covered porch. His behavior had grown erratic. Substance use was back, and his demeanor had changed. He even started making disturbing, unwanted advances towards me, which made my skin crawl. After repeated confrontations, he disappeared. For a time, we thought the problem was behind us. But then, small things started going missing. A pair of earrings, loose cash left on the counter, a lighter. Nothing big, but enough to make me pause. I chalked it up to my scatterbrain and moved on. The house was old, its walls paper thin, every creak amplified in the silence of the night. The back door, near the bathroom, had a distinctive groan when it opened. One day, my car was in the shop, likely given the impression no one was home. I was showering when I thought I heard it, the unmistakable sound of the back door shifting on its hinges. I froze, my heart thundering in my chest. The water cascaded over me as I strained to hear beyond the sound of the shower. My breath caught, but the seconds dragged into minutes and no attack came. I brushed it off as paranoia, my overactive imagination playing tricks again. I'd always been a coward when it came to strange noises, convincing myself danger lurked in every shadow. Weeks passed, but something about the house felt wrong. The basement was enormous, dimly lit and cluttered with the landlord's belongings. It was a space no one lingered in, dark corners filled with shadows that seemed to watch you. One day, the landlord came by to check on something and ventured downstairs. That's when he heard it, a faint rustling in the darkness. He armed himself with a baseball bat and followed the sound to its source. What he found was nightmarish. The man was there, in our basement. A nest of filthy blankets had been fashioned in a dark corner behind the stack of boxes, littered with the items that had gone missing from my apartment. Jewelry, money, lighters, even drug paraphernalia. The sight was chilling. Before the landlord could react, the man bolted, shoving him aside and fleeing into the street. The police were called and found him shortly after, hiding in a trash can. But the horrors didn't end there. In the chaos, he had left behind a flip phone. On it were pictures, dozens of them, pictures of me sleeping. For months, this man had been living in the basement, creeping into my apartment while I slept. The thought sent icy tendrils of fear spiraling through me. He was high on crack most of the time, and the unpredictability of his altered state made him dangerous. He could have done anything to me or my child. Anything. And I wouldn't have seen it coming. The worst part? The justice system failed us. Charges were dropped without my knowledge. Despite his lengthy record, he faced no consequences. Local authorities were lenient, prioritizing deals over accountability, even for criminals who violated others' safety. To this day, the memory chills me, though it feels like a fever dream, a surreal brush with the unthinkable. To the crackhead who invaded my life and stole my sense of security, let's never meet again. Thanks for joining me on this chilling journey. If you enjoyed this story and want more like it, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Share your thoughts or similar experiences in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you never miss another haunting tale. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant. Goodbye.